We have a new variant of the Mirai botnet called LiquorBot, and it won't lead to a happy hour.
So Tony, another day, another creatively named malware. Tell us, what is LiquorBot?
Yes, LiquorBot, another Mirai variant, but this one's got some unique differences compared to some of the other ones that we've discussed in the past. LiquorBot was actually posted online by some Bitdefender researchers. They posted a bunch of information on it. And they discussed some of the unique abilities and characteristics of this one in comparison to standard Mirai variants that we see all the time. It was created back in May of last year, 2019. They've gone through about 12 different iterations, revisions of this botnet. They're going after 12 different variants. The last time that it was updated was about October 10th of last year. And it does have a lot of general characteristics of what we see when we deal with Mirai variants. It attacks via SSH. It deals with trying to, use vulnerabilities to get in. Some of the other aspects of it, though, that I find to be very interesting is they did research and they found dropper scripts that actually pair LiquorBot with Mirai at the same time during some of the infections that they've seen, which is kind of strange because the main core of this botnet versus standard Mirai stuff is not DDoS. This one does crypto mining. It focuses on Monero. So that's kind of the standard framework of this botnet. Some of the unique differences would be in the way that it is actually coded. Instead of using standard C or a C-type code, it's actually written in the Go programming language. Now, the difference between the two is the Go programming language has a lot of advantages, things similar to garbage collection, memory safety, structured typing. So there's a lot of differences with just the core way that it was written. It is a financially hungry botnet compared to DDoS, so it will try to kick other infections off of the machines. It'll do that by, like port blocking or binding, different items like that. But in general, it is a Mirai version. It is different in the way that it's coded, so it's got a completely different structure in that aspect. But in general, I found because it was coded that way and how it was seen paired actually with Mirai, I found it to be unique in compared to some of the other ones that we've seen in the past. And I thought it was worthy to talk about it on this show. So that's why I brought it up. Some of my recommendations when it comes down to this sort of stuff is for anyone that's watching, if you do have an inventory out there of machines that are susceptible to different Mirai variants, make sure you pay attention to your inventory and patch. So with that, the different things to be concerned about, the CPU architecture, it goes after ARM64, x86, x64, and a bunch of other architectures as well. So it's robust. Definitely an interesting version of the old Mirai.
So it raises a couple good questions, Tony, specifically around the architectures that are supported. Like we're talking about, there's some x86 and maybe some ARM there that sounds like reasonable, if you're running a cryptocurrency mining operation that maybe you want to run on some of those machines. But what about those other, it seems like if it's still Mirai based and it's still primarily targeting IoT and other low power Linux stuff, is that really a worthwhile mining platform, even at that scale, to get anything worthwhile?
I guess it comes down to the not necessarily quality of the processing, but the quantity at that point. And, there's been debates. Is it better to just have giant farms of video cards versus these little IoT things that are sitting out there? So I don't know the answer to that. But with the way that it goes after all these different architectures and even the brute force in the way that it tries to infect, it doesn't look for the architecture type. It pushes all the payloads down and just starts installing. So if it catches an x86 or an ARM, it just pushes it all down and sees which one installs. It's kind of forceful in that aspect, and I think it's just more about the quantity at that point.
Compared to other Mirai variants, Tony, is this kind of a standard, the latest, or anything particularly unique? I know we with the open sourcing of the code, we've seen a lot of these, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of different variants. The one difference that makes this one stand out is its coding. It was programmed in the Go programming language, which is different than the standard C-type languages that the other ones were done. I mean, basically, you grab the base code, you make some tweaks here, more DDoS. They've always had crypto mining, but they've stayed in that realm. This one was written in a completely different language, and I think that's what really makes it stand out because of how that language functions.
Tony, when you say that this malware is paired with Mirai, can you elaborate on what that means?
Yeah, so what some of the researchers found when this botnet goes out and does infections, they found it standalone. But they also found some of the dropper scripts had both variants in the script, so it does an infection with both types. Now, why, I don't know. And the way that LiquorBot actually functions, where it tries to kick other botnets off of the machines, raises a lot of questions on why some people were using it and pairing both Mirai and LiquorBot together when one's mainly DDoS, the other one's more for financial gain. So they've seen it out there, but I didn't see any research on exactly why or any theories on why both of them were sitting in the same scripts.
Treat IoT devices like your laptop, patch them, know your logins, maintain them. Don't forget that there's a computer connected to the internet behind your thermostat,